iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams, race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Good afternoon, race fans, and welcome to the Turn 3 Racing Network. This is Brett the Jet on the mic here, calling the race in action as we wrap up qualifying. As of right now, we got Dan the Man Parmalee at the top of the boards with Tanner Tallarico second, Austin Nielsen in third. So we're going to have a awesome race here. We got around 20 cars here that have at least taken a pit stall here tonight. As we get ready to head over to qualifying, we will see where these drivers line on up as we get ready to kick off race number 11. We're already with this race halfway over the regular season. We got some drivers rolling out on the Speedway. The first driver we'll look at, it's his first start in the Sportsman Series. We got Trey Craig in the 933 machine, getting that thing up to speed, getting ready for his hot laps here as he heads through 3 and 4 to his first time lap here at Texas. Of course, this is the new reconfigured Texas from 2 years ago now, so I guess it's not too new, but as you see, a lot of room here in 1 and 2, but with all that room, you still want to run that inside line, and then 3 and 4 is almost wide open. We'll have to see what drivers really push their cars to the limit, where they can go, as he clips the white line. Now upset the car just a smidge, so, and he gets the wall. So what that means with getting the wall, that disallows the lap. That does not make it count, so you got to have a clean lap as well as a fast lap for it to count. Dan Parmalee with a 30.36. He is hauling around here, so he goes to the top of the board here early in qualifying. We'll see if anyone can knock him on down. Nathan Henry goes second quick as the field starts to take their qualifying laps. As we see the 933 come out of turn number 4 for the final time. He will go P number 5 as they sit. We also got Tanner Tallarico in the 1 car. He went P number 3, just a 100th off Dan Parmalee. JD Legg to the top of the board in the 936. So right now JD quick time, but he still got a couple big hitters to take a lap as Tanner Tallarico pushing that thing to the limit, ends up looping it there. So we look at the 051 of Ron Hart as he starts his first time lap. He's trying to wrap that bottom, make that wide turn as short as possible. He goes down the backstretch for his first time lap. As he comes off of turn number 4 for his first time lap, Ron Hart goes P number 6. Actually, that was his only time lap. As we look at another first time starter here, David Ackenbauer in the 932. Trying to see what sponsors on the hood of that machine. We'll get it sometime here tonight as we see the 932 getting up to speed. We'll see where he ends up slotting on in as he starts his first time lap. And these guys qualifying are going to be racing to the completion of lap number 30, as that's our competition caution here tonight at Texas. And we'll see where the 930 goes for his first time lap. He will go P number 13 as they stand. We'll see if he can better his lap time. But an interesting little fact, the PPEM boys right on top of each other, both with a 30.36. So both of the team cars very even here tonight. Exact same qualifying time. The edge going to, of course, Dan the Man Parmley putting that lap time in first as the 932 gets big time sideways, trying to have a big run. He ends up looping it and keeps it off of the wall. So does an awesome job here as he burns it on down. As that was I think the PBC machine. An alright cheap beer if I don't say so myself. As that will wrap up qualifying. JD Legg with the quick time award. Dan Palmery will be starting to his outside. So we will go down to the grid side for tonight's starting order. As we have JD Legg from Texas himself, so home race for JD, starting in the best possible way on the pole for the 936, starting to his outside Dan Parmley and the 710 machine. Row number 2 is made up of Eric Papinow in the 43, and to his outside Tanner Tallarico in the 1. Row number 3 is Justin Callahan leading the Blue Division drivers. On the inside to his outside Ron Hart in the 051. Row number 4 is Kyle Munson in the 28. To his outside Jerry Cochran Jr. in 8th. 9th is Nathan Henry in the 59. And rounding out our top 10, Tommy Haynes in the 17. 11th goes to Trey Craig in the 933. Steve Cigars in the 973 will start 12th. 13th will go to David Ackenbauer in the 932. John Wimbish in the 56 will start 14th. 15th is John Sanu in the 86. Dave Payton in the 38 will start 16th. 17th is Lee Campbell in the 27. 18th is John DeMeester in the Blue Deuce. 19th is Jimmy Kabinek. I know I said that wrong, Jimmy, so I apologize. And rounding out the field tonight, Austin Nielsen in the 52 machine. Be sure, if you want to be a part of the racing action, be sure to check ASRC out at AmericanSimRacingClub.com. As we look at this starting grid down on pit road, be sure Let me know who you're rooting for here tonight. I know Debbie Parmalee rooting on that 710 machine starting on the outside pole here tonight. As we see these stout looking cars under the lights here at Texas roll on off from the starting grid. Alrighty, folks, we get ready to go green flag racing here. We got 110 laps on the docket here at Texas, so it's going to be a fun one. I heard a little bit of insight from these drivers that this setup is pretty loose, so we'll have to keep an eye on this field as they get underway. Get some heat in these tires as we get ready to go green. JD Legg with a great restart. He jumps out to the lead, and we are green flag racing here at Texas. We head into turn number 1, and all the field for the most part single filed on out the first side-by-side battle. Ron Hart rolling around the top side of Justin Callahan. Justin, of course, leading the Blue Division way from his qualifying run, as most of the field trying to make sure they hit their marks, keep these cars underneath them. One of the brightest cars out here. Got to give a shout out to the painter, the graphic designer for this 17 machine. That thing is looking very sharp, especially under the lights, as it looks like Justin Callahan had a little bit of trouble there in 1 and 2 on lap number 2. Now already fighting for the lead of the Blue Division as Tommy Haynes gets big time loose in 3 and 4, keeps that car underneath him, but he lost a few spots because of it. He's going to look to regroup here early. Luckily, all these guys just have to keep their cars underneath them and make it to lap number 30 in this race, because then they can come in, get some fresh tires, get a read on their tire wear, and then have a run at the long run. As Eric Papanow loses 2 spots to the likes of Tanner Tallarico and the one that we're looking at. Same with the 051 of Ron Hart. JD Legg has checked out a little bit here. He has about a second lead over Dan Parmalee as they run, so JD putting in some impressive runs. The question is he going to burn up his stuff too early, or will he keep that thing underneath him here? As we look a little bit further back, battle for the Blue Division lead. Justin Callahan was able to defend against Cochran Jr. Now Nathan Henry getting the job done. He will take over the Blue Division lead here early. And that 59 machine looking pretty sporty here. Got some more sponsors on that thing, so he might have a few extra dollars to spend on the tire bill. Maybe a little bit more development in that car, and it looks like it's paying off. As we look a little bit further back in the field, we're looking at the 86 of John Sanu. He's under fire from the 38 K&M machine of Dave Payton. Dave not putting in a qualifying run, so he's looking to go through this field as much as possible. Now to the inside of the 86 machine as they head into turn number 3. This can get pretty sketchy there as Dave has a little bit of reaction to the 86. The 86 was coming down and going to close the gap as close as possible. And the 38 machine said, too early for that. Had to back on out of it and play the safe card. It's just like every race, especially with these Xfinity cars, folks, you got to keep these cars clean. The number one thing, you do not want to damage this aero because you'll be so slow, especially around these straightaways at these speeds here at the Texas Motor Speedway. It looks like Dave Payne gets the job done, and now the battle for second to fifth kind of slowly ramping on up. These drivers slowly catching the 710 machine, especially the one of Tanner Tallarico, really putting down some pretty decent laps. But J.D. Legg still one of the fastest cars on track. He's increased his lead to 1.8 seconds now as Tanner Tallarico looks to the inside of the 710 down the backstretch. The one machine didn't quite have enough of a run. Back down out of it. The 710 able to drive it in there deep. But it looks like the one will be coming with another run here shortly. As Tanner Tallarico gets another run on Dan Parmley. This time they'll go side by side into turns 3 and 4. The inside line very dominant, especially here through 3 and 4. The 710 will get a bit of a run off the corner, but I don't think it'll be enough. The question is, will that leave the door open for the 051? It does. That brings along Ron Hart to P number 3, still on the back bumper of Tanner Tallarico. Now looks like Dan Parmley going to do the crossover. He's going to go to the inside of Ron Hart down the backstretch. As they go side by side, Ron Hart going to try and get on the loud pedal early, defend that position, and he does that. But Ron Hart stays in third, Tanner in second, and J.D. Legg out there on a Sunday drive out front looking real sporty in that 936 machine. Right now as they run, Ron Hart, the biggest mover early stages in this race. Looks like further on back we got some side-by-side battle in action. This is for Pete number 12 on the Speedway. Well, pretty much 11th through 15th from that 933 machine all the way back to the 86 of Sanu. As, oh my goodness, those John Sanu had to be an inch from that wall off of turn number 2, using up all the track that he can to try and get a run on Steve Cigars. As now the 56 of John Wimbish goes to the inside. He passes Trey Craig. That opens up the door for Dave Payton in the 38. The 933 trying to block that. Looks like the 933 actually has a little bit of right side damage, folks. So that's going to hurt that car's speed all the way up until the stage caution. As he drives it in there deep, using up a lot of this Texas run-off space into one. But that's not the fastest way around. That leaves the door wide open for the 38 K&M machine. As that K&M machine will just have to hit his marks in 3 and 4 here. He should be able to clear the 933 as they come off of turn number 4. He does just that. The question is, the 933 just won't have enough of a run to cross him on over, so move the 38 into P number 12 as they run Johnson now the next man in the hunt. Further on up here, Justin Callahan under fire from the 17 of Tommy Haynes. As it looks like maybe one of the drivers had a little bit of an incident. I think the 932, he's down pit road. Or sorry, the 933 machine down pit road. Not sure what happened. As Tommy Haynes able to complete the pass on Justin Callahan. Move the 17 to P number 8 as they run with about 10 laps to go before this stage caution. So far, folks, been all green flag racing. We go up to the front here. JD Leg, his lead has started to diminish. Tanner Tallarico reeling him on in, but probably won't be enough for the stage win. But we'll go jump on board with the 938, see what he's doing for the Mike's Garage on board from JD Leg in the 936 machine. Here I'm really playing with that throttle off of turn number 4, trying to make sure he doesn't smack that wall, because if you do that, your race can be over in a hurry. Really floating on down into one, trying to get it to that white line. And of course a nice straight shot off to the backstretch. The key with this track is turn 1's always so tempting to overdrive with how wide it is, but with that little amount of banking compared to 3 and 4, you definitely want to take it easy. Where 3 and 4, you can kind of toss it in there like we're seeing a little bit more. JD maybe just gets the apron just a little bit. And these small little mistakes, folks, actually letting the one machine of Tanner Tallarico reel him on in. Tanner's now within 3/10, so about 4 car lengths back. So we may have a battle for the race lead before the end of the stages. JD Leg loose off of turn number 2. The other thing we'll have to keep in mind, folks, is will we see anyone take some strategy? We'll see anyone pit just before the stage, maybe try and get some track position and give up some stage points. We'll have to see, as Tanner Tallarico now gets to the back bumper of the 936 machine. As the 936 machine trying to hit all his marks that he can. Make sure he keeps the one car behind him. He has led every lap of this race, so he's trying not to lose it here at the end of the first stage. Dan Parmley has moved back into 3rd place as they run. Ron Hart in 4th. Eric Papina right on his back bumper in 5th. And that rounds out the top 5 as they run. This may be a battle developing here too for some stage points. Also looks like Tommy Haynes getting to the back bumper of Nathan Henry. Will look to his inside as they come off of turn number 2 down the backstretch. This is the battle for Pete number 7 on the Speedway. Nathan Henry jumping on the loud pedal. He's not going to make it easy. He's going to be able to defend that spot. As a little bit further up too, we got Eric Papanow with Ron Hart. Eric getting to the inside of Ron Hart, able to clear him off of turn number 2. So move the 43 into P number 4 as they run. And Kyle Munson right there to strike 2. He's just outside the stage points. He's going to try and get past the 051 to at least get a few bonus points. There's a lot of racing action heating on up here late in the stage. As now we see John Wimbish look to the inside. He's to the inside of the 75 of Callahan. This is the battle for P number 9. And then further up here, folks, we got a battle for the race lead now. As Wimbish able to get around Callahan. Tanner Tallarico to the inside of J.D. Legg here on lap number 29. Tanner Tallarico able to clear the pass right at the end of this stage. We'll have to see if he can continue to hold that, as he has to hold off the 936 for 2 laps here before we get our yellow flag. Also, we see the blue deuce of John DeMeester on screen. He's going to have to drive some good laps as well to prevent from going a lap down before this stage caution. It's going to be close here, folks. As this is the white flag for the stage. As we head down the back stretch for the final time in stage number 1. Tanner Tallarico leads the way. J.D. Legg trying his best, but just got beat on out by the one machine. Tanner Tallarico gonna get it done. He's gonna win the stage and get the 5 bonus points. As there is the yellow flag for the stage. Kyle Munson able to get around Ron Hart and get in the bonus points here. So the 28 green machine with a bonus point here in this race. The top 5 look like the following. Tanner Tallarico in the 1, J.D. Legg 2nd, Dan Parmley 3rd, Eric Papanow 4th, and Kyle Munson rounding out the top 5. 6th is Ron Hart, 7th Tommy Haynes, 8th Nathan Henry, 9th Dave Payton, the biggest mover of the race so far. And rounding out our top 10, John Wimbish. So we'll see these cars come on in, top off with fuel. And I think they'll have one more stage. Alrighty, and we'll probably have, if it goes green till the end after this, folks, we'll probably have some green flag pit stops as the fuel window right around 50 laps or so, maybe 55 if you can stretch it. But here comes the field down pit road. We'll see who wins the race off of pit road. As we see the whole field coming on in. Gonna take 4 new Goodyear tires filled up with the virtual Sunoco Racing fuel, and we'll keep our eye on the pit line. See if anyone tries a wild strategy. Probably we won't see anyone taking 2 tires this early in the race, folks. But we'll see whose cruise is the fastest. John Wimbish rolling on out. Tanner Tallarico gonna just win the race off of pit road. Eric Papanow with a great stop. He comes out 3rd. Kyle Munson 4th. Dan Parmley with a very slow stop. He comes out in 5th position. Actually, Dan's pit stop wasn't too slow, so Not sure how he ended up 5th out of that, so something we'll have to keep an eye on here. But Tanner Tallarico winning the race off of pit road. With this yellow flag, we'll go over some of the race info unless we get the 1 to green here, which I don't believe we do. So here for the Texas two-step 110 here at the Texas Motor Speedway. This is a 1.5 mile speedway. They did a little bit of revamp here in, I believe it was 2020, where they flattened out turns 1 and 2, added some more banking, took away some of the banking. And that's what makes this track so challenging here is the 2 different corners, how you got to drive them very differently for a 1.5 mile speedway here. Of course, ASRC Sportsman Series thanks all the viewers out here at home. We got to thank each and every one of you for tuning in on these Monday nights under the lights here at Texas. We're looking at a nice cool night, 65 degrees here in Texas, and track temperature started off at 68 degrees. Of course, ASRC is presented by QuickTime Motorsports Media, Mike's Custom Garage and Speed Shop, and the 399 Esports Gang. As the lights are out on the iRacing pace car, we are going back green flag racing. Next time by here at Texas. As we saw the 936 of JD Leg fire off very well in the first run. We'll see how he does here with Tanner Tallarico now leading the way. We'll have to also see as we get ready to go green flag action. Here we'll wait for the 1 car to fire on off. iRacing pace cars down pit road. Tanner Tallarico waiting a long time. He jumps on the loud pedal and we are back green flag racing here at Texas. The 932 of JD Lake gets a great restart. He's still to the outside of the one machine. Kyle Munson a little bit sleeping on that start. He falls back and is now battling side by side with Dan Parmley and Dave Payne. Tanner Tallarico able to get a car length and a half. Now 2 car lengths over the 936. You see Kyle Munson trying to roll the high side of the 710 machine. These guys know it's kind of go time. The easiest spot to pass people is on a restart. But the caveat is you start using up your tires a lot more. So it's all about that fine balancing act that these race car drivers have to do each and every week. Trying to push these cars to the limit, but not push them over the limit. As we see the 38 K&M machine of Dave Payne under fire from the 17, now under fire from the 56 He'll back out of it early. We saw a lot of flames out of that tailpipe. He says, I'm just going to go drop in line here. As an intense battle here. 3 wide with Nathan Henry down low, down the back stretch. As Tanner Tallarico gets past for the race lead, JD Legg goes to the front of the field. Tanner Tallarico able to hang on to second. Eric Papanow in third. Kyle Munson fourth. And Tommy Haynes in that 17 machine in the top 5 as they run. As John Wimbish now applying the pressure to the 710 machine of Dan Parmley. Dan Parmley taking his time, very methodical with those tires. He's really backing it on up, taking care of those tires, expecting the race to go for a long run here. So he's letting everyone around him burn up his stuff, but he can't give up too much time, as then he has to reburn his stuff, trying to get back all these cars that passed him here early in this run. As we're looking at the 56 machine, he's actually the current Blue Division leader as they run. So John Wimbish in the 56 leading the way for the Blue Division drivers. A little bit of info about that, folks. You hear me say Red Division, Blue Division, overall winner. So the Blue Division is kind of a let's say a developmental series built into this ASRC Sportsman Series. What that is if your I rating's below a 2700, you're eligible to be in the Blue Division in the developmental series. You can run for your own championship that way. You know, you got it's kind of like running for Rookie of the Year. And so you can develop, and then of course if you finish in the top 3 of the Blue Division, you get to get moved up with the big boys in the Red Division. The Red Division, pretty much everyone else, the best of the rest. You can pretty much race them for the overall win. But every now and then a Blue Division driver does pick up a win and schools the rest of the field. Nathan Henry on the move in that 59 machine. He's looking to reclaim the Blue Division lead as he gets all over the back bumper of the 56 machine. Also Ron Hart right there as well in this battle. He got a penalty on pit road, so he's looking to drive through this field, and he is doing exactly that here. As Nathan Henry and Ron Hart sail it into turn number 3 side by side. Both those cars dancing around a little bit at the apex and corner exit. Man, they get close there off of turn number 4. Keep it clean though, and the advantage goes to Ron Hart. Now Nathan Henry back down out of it big time, trying to jump in the gap in front of the 38 machine, but Dave Payne able to fill that, and he's now to the inside of Nathan Henry as they go down the backstretch. As we go back to the front of this field, JD Legg leading the way still. Tanner Tallarico in second. And Tommy Haynes from 10th position from where he started all the way up into P number 3 and closing the gap on the one machine of Tanner Tallarico. That red hot car looking red hot fast out here at Texas. He has driven his way through this field and now has reeled in the top 2. Making that car look very sporty in the first half of this race. A little bit further back in this field, we got Lee Campbell battling with John Sanu. This is the battle for 12th position on the Speedway. Lee Campbell down low in the 8. John Sanu in the 86 Luke Transport Machine up top. Although John Sanu almost gets the wall, has to yank it on down, lifts a little, and that gives him some space too. Jerry Cochran Jr. As the 86 machine gets a big run, he goes to the inside of Lee Campbell. This battle isn't over yet, folks. As John Sanu sails it off there, slides on up in front of Lee Campbell. Now we'll see if Campbell crosses him over. He does. They go side by side here once again into turn number 3. John Sanu is going to try and get in the loud pedal early, try and defend that position. He does just that, but this battle is far from over. But we got some more battles on track. Ron Hart trying to get around John Wimbish. Right behind them, Dave Payton and Nathan Henry as well. And then further on up front here, Tanner Tallarico looking to make the move back to the race lead here. He is to the back bumper of the 936 machine of JD. And if he's able to get around JD here, Tommy will be all over the back bumper trying to get a easy pass, let one of them clear the way. As Tanner Tallarico's just going to lose out of the momentum heading into turn number 1. The 936 will dive it on in there, drive all the way to the bottom of the Speedway, but this one car has been so good off of turn number 2. We'll see if he gets another run down the backstretch. He does, but not quite enough to make a move for the race lead, so these guys will all stay under a blanket here as we start lap number 53. These guys all battling hard, but don't forget, folks, we pitted around lap 30. That means we'll expect to see cars starting to come in around lap 70 or 80. So we'll have to see if people decide to short pit or stay out on these tires as long as possible. Tanner Tallarico a little bit in the dirty air here. He's falling it back just about a tenth to our race leader. Now Tommy Haynes all over the back bumper of the 1 if he does make a mistake, but that's always a tough ask from that 1 machine. As we look a little bit further back here, some more side-by-side racing action between these 4 cars again. Now Dave Payne looking to make his way through this field. He's back up to P number 7, Ron Hart, in 8th there, trying to defend that position from Nathan Henry, who happens to be leading this blue division. And as this time by, folks, we see cross flags from the flagman halfway down, halfway home in this race here at Texas. Seems like most of the field leveling on out. Everyone kind of just running their own race, hitting their marks, making sure no big mistakes from any of these drivers. Keeping their cars clean and facing the right direction. As with these guys battling. Once again, for the race lead here, Tanner Tallarico has a big run down the front stretch to the inside of JD Legg in 1 and 2. Tanner will have the momentum just a smidge down the backstretch. We'll see if the 936 pinches him down and lets the one car on through. That will have Tanner Tallarico reclaim the race lead here. Now Tommy Haynes looking to get around the 936 as quickly as possible. As we'll see if the one car can pull on away, or if these drivers behind him can stay in his draft and not let him get too far out in front here at Texas. J.D. Legg really hitting his marks now, being behind Tanner Tallarico. Now that he's got a reference car, he knows where to place his car, where to lift, all that fun stuff. And he's taking advantage of it, not letting that one car run away. We'll go on board for the 17 machine and see what he's seeing inside this car. He's doing a little bit of a different line through 3 and 4. He's kind of entering a half a car length up and then really getting it to cut on down in 3 and 4. As we see him with the sights of the front 2 runners in his windshield and in his rear view. He's got Eric Papa now keeping the pressure on him. As a 17 machine, I see what he's doing. He's driving it in there deep in 3, keeping his car up a lane, and then letting it slow down by the apex, and then re-jumping on the throttle. We'll have to see if that ends up hurting his tires or not, but it doesn't look like it, as he's still hanging on to 3rd and looking pretty sporty in this race. As with this, folks, as well, we'll do everyone's favorite time. We'll do the turn 3, turn it up here, and let the cars do the talking here for a few laps here as we look to complete lap number 63. as we come back to the racing action here at Texas. And I think we got our first green flag pit cycles starting here. The 28 of Kyle Munson down pit road. So he's really going to short pit it here. We'll see who else decides to come on in. And we get a nice commenter in the YouTube chat lands. Tim Rogers. We've seen him out here a few times on track. Tim, how you doing? Glad you could join us. As we are on lap 69 of 110. Nice. Tanner Tallarico still leading the way. JD Legg second. Eric Papineau moves back to P number 3 where he qualified that 43 Liberty Life Church Machine. Tommy Haynes in 4th. And Dave Payton up a whopping 11 spots. Now sits in the 5th position. As we got some more pitters here. Dan Parmley, Nathan Henry, John Sanu, and Ron Hart all down pit road here. I hate to hear it, Tim. That is a bummer to have the old COVID. Hopefully you're feeling on better. Hopefully you get better and we can see it out here on the racetrack. But a little update from... You're the 48 car now, right, Tim? From the 48 team. As long as you don't have COVID-22, you know, Tim. As we see Eric Papineau from 3rd place diving down pit road. He makes it down to the speed limit and he is in. The question is, when do these drivers come on in? We will have to wait and see. As we also got another racer in the chat, Jeff O'Quinn. I've been missing that Bill Elliott scheme out here tonight, Jeff. Would have looked nice under the lights, but I think you had some business out of town, so a bummer to not have you out here on track. But a pretty competitive field it looks like for the most part, so looking forward to have you the next race week. I don't believe it's next week. I think we got next week off due to Easter, but the week after that we'll be back, of course, and hopefully we'll see all the regulars back on out here. Is Tanner Tallarico still out on track? The top 6 still have not pitted. Everyone else have come on down and taken 4 tires and filled it up with fuel. It looks like one driver had to serve a penalty. That's the 27 of Lee Campbell. So a tough night continues for that 27 team. One of the closest battles on track are actually between the 2 teammates, Eric Papineau and Dan Parmley, both battling for 8th and 9th in the middle of these pit cycles. Tommy Haynes coming on in down pit road. Glad to see now when the leader comes on in, because that was the yellow flag comes on out, folks. It didn't even click for me for a second, but in the middle of this pit stops, we get the yellow flag, and a lot of drivers will be caught a lap down. The 5 that stayed on out looking pretty smart right about now. We will go and see what brought out this current yellow flag as we look to the 27 or the 8 machine. We heard from the update that he got a penalty on pit road and his night keeps on getting tougher. Gets loose off of turn number 2, tags the inside wall. Luckily, no one else involved. That thing has minimum damage for a wall hit like that, but that was enough to bring out the yellow flag, and we'll see the rest of the top 5 come on down pit road and fill it up with the virtual Sunoco Racing fuel, as well as stick 4 fresh sticker Goodyear tires. as we see a lot of cars staying on out. That is because they're all going to get the wave around. They're all going to get their lap back and be on the lead lap, but they're going to be on older tires, as the 28 of Kyle Munson is tonight's lucky dog from this yellow. He'll get waved on around as Tanner Tallarico wins the race off of pit road. JD Legg coming out second, Dave Payton third, John Wimbish fourth, and Justin Callahan in fifth off of pit road. Alrighty, folks, we're going to actually try and dial up our race leader. That would be the one of Tanner Tallarico. See what he has to say. So we'll try and talk to him here quickly as we're under yellow flag. Alrighty, Tanner Tallarico. D got a copy.
I got you, buddy.
Alrighty, man. That car's looking pretty sporty. It seems like on the short run, JD and you are very even, but it looks like as that car comes into its own, you get pretty fast and that thing starts to take on off. Is that the case? And how's your car been running for you?
Yeah, for the most part, that's kind of what it does. These things are really hard to get a handle on cold tires, especially in 1 and 2. I'm not sure if it's just because of the lack of banking or what, but definitely, at least for me, I got to give it a solid 2 or 3 laps for the pressures to build up and the temps to come up and really get the grip going before I can start getting after it. And I don't know what JD's doing, but he's able to definitely fire off a little bit better than I am. So the best thing I can do is just try to plug up the bottom because it's so hard to pass on the outside. And if I can just keep him behind me for 3 or 4 laps, I think I'll be okay. But yeah, definitely for the first 10 laps or so, we're pretty even. I feel pretty good on the long run, that's for sure. Especially in 3 and 4, you kind of just get down here on the white line and ride the lightning the whole way through the corner. So yeah, definitely after about 10 laps or so, I'm feeling pretty good.
Now, with that yellow flag, when it came out, how close were you coming down to pit road, as we saw most of the field already make their green flag pit stops?
I was actually, I was coming down that time, so I was going into turn 3 when the caution came out, so that worked out perfect. Usually I'm on the opposite side of the pit strategy, and I'm the one that usually gets the short end of the stick, but I'll take it for sure. It's definitely going to flip the card here the last handful of laps. I think that's probably going to narrow the field down a little bit, unless we get another yellow and it re-racks everything. But if this thing goes green, I think you're going to see a handful of different faces up here at the front.
Yeah, I agree, Tanner. Well, I think it is 1 to go right now, so we'll let you go. Get ready for this restart. Best of luck to you, but that one car looking pretty sporty tonight here at Texas.
Thanks, buddy. Hopefully I can talk to you in a little bit. We'll see.
Yeah, that would be the goal. Good luck to you. Alrighty, folks. That was the one car of Tanner Tallarico as he gets ready to go racing here at Texas. We'll go jump it to, of course, a better shot here. And we'll get ready to go green flag racing here as Tanner Tallarico will once again lead us to the restart zone. We'll see when that one car decides to fire on off. Dave Payton, the furthest up he's been, right on the back bumper of the one. We'll wait for Tallarico to fire on off. And he does just that. Gets a pretty good start. Brings Dave Payton with him. Dave Payton will be to the inside of JD Legg as they head into turn number 1. These guys will be side by side for Pete number 2. JD will have to jump on the loud pedal here hard. Try and get a run down the backstretch. but you can't be too aggressive with these cold tires because this setup is very loose, especially here in 3 and 4s. You see these guys dancing around each other just a little bit, trying to put down the power, trying to carry the momentum, as they are still side by side for Pete number 2 on the Speedway. We see the cars trapped a lap down, trying to get through this field as quickly as possible. Tommy Haynes, the driver, we got to keep an eye out down there. He's in that orange, red, and yellow machine. He's back to P number 7 already, as JD able to defend the position here with 30 laps to go. Well, now inside of 30 laps to go. As John Wimbish sitting there in 4th, right on the back bumper of Dave Payne. He is currently the blue division leader here once again, looking pretty sporty. Would love to talk to him after the race if he's able to park it in the blue division victory lane here tonight at Texas. JD Legg trying to drive the wheels off that 936 machine, trying to keep the pressure on the back bumper of Tanner Tallarico. As we look a little bit further back, Eric Papanow was able to get around the 28 and the 17. So Eric Papanow looking to get he's in P number 6. The next driver in front of him is Justin Callahan in that 75 Sitco machine. As Cal Munson trying to defend that spot from Tommy Haynes. The 17 machine all over the back bumper of the 28 here. This is the battle for 7th on the Speedway, as Johnson New is a lap down here. As the 17 looks to the inside of the 28 in 1 and 2. He will roll the middle here. And they'll be side by side down the backstretch here. Tommy Haynes will take P number 7 away from Kyle Munson. A little bit further back, it looks like Dan Parmley actually has some right side damage to that 710 machine, and he does, so that's going to be hurting the performance of that car. Maybe that's why we see him marred back in here, not being able to drive through the field like his teammate here at Texas. To jump on board with the car behind him, Ron Hart, with some right side damage. You see the right front fender there crinkled just a hair. In a battle for the race lead, JD Legg threw it into turns 3 and 4 to the inside of Tanner Tallarico. Somehow made it stick, and he is back to the race lead on Tanner Tallarico. Now Tanner will apply the pressure, and we'll see what he does to battle him on back. I'll see if I can get a replay from that move, because that was a heck of a run, as this was already too late, folks. So we'll go back live racing and see if Tanner Tallarico can do the same exact move back here to Legg. As we see, folks, about a car length between the front two. Tanner Tallarico trying to carry the momentum, enter a little bit higher, get a little bit of clean air on the nose, get some downforce, and then jump on that loud pedal. Try and get a straighter shot off than the race leader, as he is all over the back bumper. As most of the field kind of spreading on out, everyone kind of getting in the groove where they need to run for the most part. But we'll keep our eyes on this lead battle because this could heat up at any moment. One mistake from either of these two drivers, and it could blow this race wide open. As this time by, we get 20 laps to go here at Texas. 90 down, 20 left, folks. As Ron Hart gets passed by Nathan Henry, that moves him outside of the top 10, moves the 59 machine back inside the top 10. As Tanner Tallarico really wrapping that inside line good, trying to make it work. We'll take a look on board from this 936. Looking back to the one machine, just how much of a run. And Tanner Tallarico's going to have a run here down the front stretch. He'll go to the inside here if he's got the room. He's going to push J.D. Legg into turn number 1. And he's going to go dive it down, sail it in there. They're going to be side by side here once again for the race lead. Tanner Tallarico able to roll the middle a little bit better than the 936 being on the bottom. So now Tanner Tallarico will have the race lead. We'll have about a car length over the 936. We'll have to see if he's got anything left in the bank. JD's going to have to stay in Tanner's draft if he's going to want a shot here. Tanner Tallarico with a very low entry into one, able to wrap it on the bottom and then come off nice and straight and low. That's going to be hard to get around this one machine late in this race. As Tanner Tallarico able to slowly increase the gap, now about 5 car lengths over J.D. Legg, so he's taking a little bit of pressure off his shoulders each lap here. He's going to just have to keep on doing that. Dave Payne sitting comfortably in 3rd. John Wimbish sitting comfortably in 4th with the Blue Division lead here as we approach 16 laps to go in this race, folks. As trouble for our second place driver, trying to reel in the race leader. He smacks the wall hard off of turn number 4, and that's going to slow him on down. That's going to kill the pace of that car, and that's going to probably give the 38 K&M machine of Dave Payne second place, and may even allow John Wimbish to reel him on in because that car is going to be very slow down these straightaways here in these remaining 15, coming to 14 laps to go. We'll keep an eye here because this battle for second's about to heat on up. Dave Payne able to reel him in from about a second back within 2 laps. As, of course, we get the wrong graphic initially, but here's the difference in times from the last couple laps. We see right there on lap 94 he smacked the wall, and since then J.D. Legg's been 3/10, 5/10, now 1/10 back or better laps from Dave Payne, so he is definitely the faster car of the two. He's just got to get around the 936 as he's looking to the inside down the backstretch. Dave Payne able to drive it on in 3, able to clear, move the 38 machine into P number 2. He's the biggest mover of the race, up 17 positions. Now he's just hoping for no yellow flag, or maybe he is, because now he's only got Tanner Tallarico out in front. As Dave Payton, we look at the 38 K&M machine, looking for his first ASRC win. He's running in second right now, but he's got to hope from a big mistake from the one car of Tanner Tallarico. We'll see if he can get it done. JD Legg still hanging on to third place, but John Wimbish continues to close the gap here as we see this time at the start finish line, 2 open palms, 10 laps to go for our race leader, Tanner Tallarico, in that one machine. Dave Payton reeling in the race leader. He was 3/10 to Tanner on 98. 99 was a 10th on lap 100. Pretty close to 2/10 quicker. So that 38 K&M machine closing the gap for the race lead. We may have a battle on our hands, folks. Or is Tanner Tallarico just saving enough tire to crank it on up here in the closing stages? We'll find out here as we have single digits to go. We'll keep an eye on the deltas here as these guys continue to click off the laps. No real other battles on track at the moment. As this time by, folks, it looks like they evened on out for the most part. Tanner Tallarico with a better lap time, that time about a 10th quicker, so the one car may be saving his stuff, making it work. As now JD Legg way back in 10th position. Not sure what happened to that driver. Looks like maybe had a connection issue. As this time by Tanner Tallarico, 3/10 to the good. So Tanner Tallarico laying down some blistering laps, but he's got some lap traffic here of John DeMeester. The Blue Deuce staying high for the race leader. Very courteous. That'll let Tanner on through. Now Dave Payne will have to get on by. As it looks like JD Legg had some sort of issue. He's disconnected from the race. Same with Ron Hart. Looks like he came down pit road. So some late race troubles for a few of these drivers. John Wimbish in that 56 machine in that Cheerwine sponsored Supra. Very strong here tonight. He is still in the third position as well as leading the blue division. So we might be talking to this driver at the end of this race if this continues. That time by the race leader saw the open palm from the flagman. 5 laps to go around this 1.5 mile Texas Motor Speedway. Tanner Tallarico just making sure all he wants to do is see that white flag. He wants this race to go official. Doesn't want to think about any more restarts. He's just got to make 8 more corners to do so. As this time by the one machine will see 3 laps to go here at Texas. Dave Payton actually reeling back in the one car, trying to make that gap about half a second. We'll have to see if he can continue that. We see the gap going down the backstretch. I want to say about 15 car lengths between the two. As this time by, folks, we see popsicle sticks up in the air from the flagman. 2 laps to go. Tanner Tallarico's just got to hit his marks. Keep that car clean. Keep it off of the wall. no matter what he does. And he'll be sitting pretty as he goes down the backstretch here. Able to keep the gap the same to the 38 K&M machine. This time off of turn number 4. The one machine will see the white flag. One more lap here around Texas Motor Speedway. Dave Payne has been getting some killer runs off of turn number 4, but he's not going to have enough time. Kyle Munson with a little bit of an incident. He'll keep that thing facing the right direction back in P number 7, but Tanner Tallarico heads to 3 and 4 for the final time tonight. And Tanner Tallarico's going to get it done. He's going to win tonight's Texas two-step here. Dave Payton with an awesome drive through this field. He's going to finish second. And John Wimbish with an impressive run wins the blue division, ends up on the podium in third. We'll be talking to all 3 of these drivers after the race. But first, we'll go throw the camera to the one machine and let him burn it on down for these race fans here at Texas and everyone watching at home. As we'll wait for the one of Tanner Tallarico to burn it on down, if he decides to do so. I know as soon as I go to caution, he's going to do so, but we're going to go to commercial anyways. We'll be back on the other side with our driver interviews.
Online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Alrighty, we are back here on the other side. First, we'll talk to our third place finisher and our blue division, John Wimbish. John, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
Yeah, man, I got you.
Alrighty, congrats on the blue division win as well as the podium. Heck of a drive from you tonight. How was this 56 machine here at Texas?
Man, this thing was tight. It was super tight, but had a good run here. Not what I was expecting. I messed up my qualifying, started 14th, I think. So anyway, we try to work up through the field and get a better handle on this thing and figure the track out a little bit more and more, and it came around to us there at the end, so it worked out.
Yeah, heck of a drive from you tonight. You were looking pretty sporty as you're driving through this field. But what really sealed the deal was that caution flag in the middle of green flag pit stops. How soon were you to coming down pit road, John?
I was actually thinking of waiting another couple laps because I was hoping the caution was going to come out. And I know some other guys were hitting it pretty early, and I thought that was too early. So I was going to wait. But yeah, you're right. The caution came out at a really good time for us. So it just kind of worked out right there.
Yeah, some awesome strategy by you and your team. It was definitely awesome to watch. Now, John, just so I know, see if I've been getting your last name right. How do you say your last name?
It's Wimbish.
All right, cool. I have been saying it right then, so
Good deal.
I feel a little bit better. All righty, John. Well, first blue division win for you here at Texas. That's got to feel pretty good. Hopefully we'll be seeing you as the season continues on I know it's just after halfway, but still a lot of racing to do, a lot of points to be earned. But John, before we let you go and celebrate your Blue Division win, I'll hand over the mic to you and let you thank whoever you got to for this 56 team here tonight.
I just want to thank my teammate Tommy Haynes. He does a lot to help me out when we practice, and coming to a race, we share a lot of information, so that helps a lot. Thank all the guys here at the league. Put on a good show, put on a good race, and a lot of give and take out there by everybody. And congratulations to Tanner on the win. Appreciate you guys putting this thing on for us. It gives us something to go back and watch.
Oh, yeah, John, no problem. Appreciate you coming out here, supporting the league, running, putting on a show for all the fans watching at home. And, man, congratulations. Hopefully we'll be talking to you some more here in the future, but an awesome drive from you here tonight.
10-4, thank you.
Alrighty, folks, that was our third place finisher and our Blue Division winner. Now we'll head over to second place, Dave Payton in the 38 K&N machine. Dave, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
I got you, Brett.
Alrighty, Dave. How was the car? That yellow flag had to come at an opportune time tonight, did it not?
Yeah, I mean, that's the only reason I'm talking to you right now. The car is a piece of shit. It's a pig, and it doesn't turn, and it grinds the right front into the wheel. The only reason I think I got a top 3 tonight was because we got lucky on that last caution, honestly.
Hey, man, that's half, sometimes more than half of racing is getting lucky, so an awesome job from you here tonight, Dave. You're definitely driving the wheels off that thing, at least after the yellow. You started to reel in Tanner Tallarico. We're watching those lap times. You hunted down J.D. Legg, got around him, and that thing still looked pretty sporty for saying how bad it was driving for you. I think that's just Xfinity cars in general.
Well, I mean, at that last restart, I was trying to put myself between Tanner and JD because, to be quite honest, didn't really feel like I was able to beat any of them. So Tanner being a buddy, I'm going to try and get in front of JD because JD was giving him a run for his money the whole race. So I figured, all right, I'm going to try and get in front of him and slow him up a little bit, give Tanner a bit of a head. And then I just couldn't get by him because I kept getting loose on that last restart. We were running hard, but the tires were warming up, so I was getting loose. And then JD tank slaps the wall, and he dropped like a rock. So I think it would have been Tanner, JD, me possibly, but if JD didn't hit that wall. And then I think once Tanner saw JD drop off, that was, I don't think I was reeling him in. I think he was taking it easy.
Yeah, Dave, but you got to take advantage of every situation, especially here on the racetrack, and you did just that here tonight at Texas. So an awesome job, and who knows, maybe this is the change of luck you needed just before the start of the super late model season here on Wednesday.
Well, I needed a good run to try and recover a little bit from last week too, from that embarrassing moment going into one at Watkins Glen. But yeah, I mean, it was fun. It was a good race. It was a really good race. And John, who finished third, I was running with him for a lot of the races. We were kind of working ourselves up through the field, and it was fun running with him and close to him, and it only took a few laps for me to have confidence in his ability and to know that we can run close to each other. So props to John on his third place finish and running with him all night long here, and that was a lot of fun. But yeah, we'll see what happens on Wednesday night. I still kind of run with the mentality of consistency wins championships because I'm like 90 years old, and I still think that is actually a thing. And maybe it will be on Wednesday night. We'll see.
Yep, that will be the key. But Dave, before we let you go and celebrate this runner-up finish, I'm going to go hand over the mic to you, and you can give a thanks to whoever you need to for this 38 team here tonight at Texas.
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you, Brett, and Turn 3 for the wonderful job you guys all do. The whole team at Turn 3 does an awesome job broadcasting. Anybody that's looking for a league broadcaster, Turn 3 is the place to be. They're awesome. They do dirt, they do short track, they do NASCAR stuff, and it's always a money well spent with Turn 3. Thank Andrew for putting the series together. I know he's puts a lot of work into it and puts a lot of time into it, and he's slowly kind of piecing it together and getting the car counts up and doing a good job. So thanks to Andrew for taking that extra step and putting together a series for us to run. And then of course I always have to thank my other half, my better half, for A, feeding me before the race, and B, letting me play video games as a grown-ass man.
Yep, you know the old saying, Dave, happy life, happy wife. So got to keep her happy, but always got to give a shout out to the lady. But yeah, Dave, awesome job here tonight. It was awesome to see this K9 machine make its way through the field and end up in the podium. Always a pleasure talking to you. You have yourself a great rest of the night and go celebrate this runner-up finish.
Thanks, Brett.
Alrighty, folks. Now we'll head down to Victory Lane and talk to our race winner, Tanner Tallarico, in the one machine. Tanner, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet here in the booth.
I got you, Brett.
Alrighty, man. We talked to you under yellow flag. You told us what you needed to do, and you pretty much did just that. How was this car in that second half? You didn't have it easy, though. J.D. Lay gave you a run for your money, and Dave Payne was kind of closing the gap there at the end.
Yeah, it was when we were talking to you there before the last restart, I had mentioned that it doesn't fire off very well, and it didn't again. Actually, I would say of all the restarts we had, it fired off the best on that last restart. I don't know if it was just because I was able to have some more practice and I already had a couple restarts underneath my belt or what, but yeah, I made a mistake. I went down into turn 3, and if you hook the paint in the middle of 3 and 4 just right, you can really lay the gas to it and make up a lot of time. And right before that last caution, I think I really figured out how to do that well. So I was trying to do that again, and I think I overcompensated for how good the new tires would turn, and I got down into the corner and hooked the apron a little bit and got up off the bottom, and JD got underneath me. So then I had to race really hard and get back around him, and either way, that was an awesome race between him and I. And then, yeah, there at the end, I started saving a little bit of tire. I don't know what happened to JD. I guess he got into the wall a little bit, and I kind of lost track of where he was on my relative. But as soon as I saw that he was falling back, I immediately started saving a little bit. And I got down to the end, yeah, and I saw Dave was starting to catch me. And the last 3 or 4 laps, I started to pick it back up, but I wasn't really pulling away. So he definitely reeled me back in. But, yeah, I was glad that Dave and I could go 1-2. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it definitely is pretty cool. He finishes runner-up, I think, for sure. I think it's his best finish in ASRC. Don't got the stats in front of me, but awesome job by him. But Tanner Tallarico, you add another win to the column here. Sadly, you're not running for points again as you're the defending champion, but coming out here and showing what that one car is made of, like always. Always a pleasure seeing you out here on track, let me tell you.
Yeah, it's a bummer. I was really hoping that I'd be able to run actually more than what I have so far. Started a new job, actually, Elif Brothers, that's on the car tonight. It's my stepdad's company, so I'm able to do some work for them now. And actually, there's probably a couple guys watching. I don't know if Justin and Mario are watching this or not, but if they are, I'm sure they're going to text me here any second. My phone's going to be going off. But, yeah, I've been working for them, and it's kind of changed my schedule up a little bit. So I don't have quite as much time to run on here like I used to, but when I get the opportunity, when I get some freedom here and there, definitely don't want to pass up the chance to run with these guys. We got a great group of people here, a great broadcast that you put on, Brett, and I really enjoy doing this. This is a blast. It's a great pastime to kind of get away from everything that goes on during the week and just hang out. It's fun to just hang out and talk to everybody. So anytime I get the chance to run these races, I try to jump on here and do it.
Yep, that is always awesome, Tanner. Well, we appreciate you every time you're out here. Always put on some good racing. Before we let you go and celebrate down in Victory Lane, I'm going to go turn the stage over to you. I'm sure there's a lot of people you got to thank from this red and white #1 machine here tonight.
Yeah, so first and foremost, like I just said, Elif Brothers Roofing. It's my stepdad and my uncle's company. This is something totally new to them. They've been on one other car on iRacing, I think, but it was a long time ago. This is the first time that they've ever been in anything that was broadcasted. So hopefully tomorrow at work I can show this to some of the guys and they'll get a kick out of it. But actually, I want to give a big shout out to Matt McKenzie as well from Berlin Raceway in Michigan. I was texting him late last week and told him that I might end up running on Monday. And if I did, I would throw a couple Berlin stickers on the car. And so hopefully he's watching. If not, I'm gonna text him and let him know to watch a replay. And then my uncle Chris at Boardwalk Subs, does a lot for me, both in the real world and in the sim world. So try to get back as much as I can on both ends for everybody. And then you, Brett, as I said, up in the booth, you guys at Turn 3 do a phenomenal job carrying the series. Our numbers are growing. The series is starting to get a little bit bigger every single week, so that's an awesome sign that things are on the upswing. Hopefully, by the end of the season, we're able to wrangle up 25, maybe 30 cars in this series. That would be amazing. I think a couple of them dropped out before the race started, which is unfortunate. But we got a great group of guys here. If anybody out there is trying to find a good NASCAR league to run on Monday nights, look no further. I think ASRC would be a great fit for you. Or if anybody knows anybody that's looking, please give them a shout out to the American Sim Racing Club. We're always looking for people. We got a great group of guys here, and it's always a good time.
All right. Thank you very much, Tanner. Always a pleasure talking to you here in the booth. Always a pleasure to watch your race, especially, like you said, against all these great group of racers. I'm going to go let you celebrate down in victory lane. I'm going to go wrap it up here in the booth and then join you for the after party. So, Tanner, you have yourself a great rest of your night and a happy Easter as well.
Thanks, buddy, and happy Easter, everybody out there. Appreciate it, Brett.
Alrighty, folks, that was our race winner, Tanner Tallarico, getting it done here at Texas, picking up the win. Now we'll go run through tonight's finishing order from the race. Of course, we got Tanner Tallarico for Downforce Sim Racing Development in the 1 machine, picking up the win. Second goes to Dave Payton in the 38 machine for RHU. John Wimbish in the 56 rounds out the top 3 and wins tonight's Blue Division race. Justin Callahan with a strong run in that 75 machine finishes 4th. And Tommy Haynes, we saw him up front all night long, rounds out the top 5. 6 goes to Eric Papanow in the 43. 7th, Kyle Munson in the green machine, 28 machine. Dan the Man Parmley got some damage and was stuck towards the back there. Finishes in 8th. Nathan Henry, 9th. John Sanu, 10th. John DeMeester brings it home, 11th. Jerry Cochran Jr. brings it home, 12th. Lee Campbell, 13th. J.D. Legg, we saw him get some issues and I think drop out of the race. He finishes 14th. Ron Hart in the 051 had an issue at the end as well. Finishes 15th. Steve Cigars finishes 16th. Trey Craig finishes 17th, and rounding out our starting field tonight, David Ackenbauer in the 932 machine. So, folks, an awesome race here tonight. Got to give a shout out to each and every one of you tuning on in, spending your Monday night with me. Got to, of course, give a shout out to Debbie, Tim, and Jeff, all keeping me entertained in the YouTube chat lands. Appreciate all you guys. Got to give a shout out to all the replay viewers as well. Like Tanner said, be sure to check out Turn 3 Racing Network throughout the week. Always got some good racing going on and some great broadcasters to explore. Got to, of course, give a shout out to ASRC, all the sponsors that make this league go around, all the competitors out here putting on a show for me to call and you to watch at home. I've, of course, been Brett the Jet from Turn 3 Racing Network. Everyone have a safe night, safe week, and a happy Easter. Take care, have a good one, and remember, folks, just flew by you. Have a good one.